Thank you for joining with me. We are in A Course in Miracles. This is the combined volume by the Foundation for Inner Peace, 3rd edition. Today we are starting section 3 of chapter 25, The Justice of God, section 3, Perception and Choice. To the extent to which you value guilt, to that extent will you perceive a world in which attack is justified. To the extent to which you recognize that guilt is meaningless, to that extent you will perceive attack cannot be justified. This is in accord with perception's fundamental law. You see what you believe is there, and you believe it is there because you want it there. Perception has no other law than this. The rest but stems from this to hold it up and offer it support. This is perception's form, adapted to this world, of God's more basic law, that love creates itself, and nothing but itself. God's laws do not obtain directly to a world perception rules, for such a world could not have been created by the mind to which perception has no meaning. Yet are his laws reflected everywhere. Not that the world where this reflection is real at all, only because his Son believes it, and it's from his Son's belief he could not let himself be separate entirely. He could not enter his Son's insanity with him, but he could be sure his sanity went there with him. So he could not be lost forever in the madness of his wish. Perception rests on choosing. Knowledge does not. Knowledge has but one law because it has but one creator. But this world has two who made it, and they do not see it as the same. To each it has a different purpose, and to each it is a perfect means to serve the goal for which it is perceived. For specialness, it is the perfect frame to set it off, the perfect battleground to wage its wars, the perfect shelter for illusions which it would make real. Not one but upholds in its perception, not one but can be fully justified. There is another maker of the world, the simultaneous. There is another maker of the world, the simultaneous corrector of the mad belief that anything could be established and maintained without some link that kept it still within the laws of God. Not as the law itself upholds the universe as God created it, but in some form adapted to the need the Son of God believes he has. Corrected error is the error's end, and thus has God protected still his Son, even in error. There is another purpose in the world that error made, because it has another maker who can reconcile its goal with his Creator's purpose. In his perception of the world, nothing is seen but justifies forgiveness and the sight of perfect sinlessness. Nothing arises but is met with instant and complete forgiveness. Nothing remains an instant to obscure the sinlessness that shines unchanged beyond the pitiful attempts of specialness to put it out of mind where it must be and light the body up instead of it. The lamps of heaven are not for mind to choose to see them where it will. If it elects to see them elsewhere from their home as if they lit a place where they could never be, then must the Maker of the world correct your error, lest you remain in darkness where the lamps are not. We're going to stop there in section 3 of chapter 25, and we'll finish up tomorrow. Perception and choice. I love you. Thank you so much for joining with me. I will see you tomorrow.